What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and today we are talking about PAX East. So this was actually the first PAX that I've had a chance to go to. Typically I end up going to E3, which is more of an industry event, and in comparison, PAX being more about just the games themselves and having fun. I had an absolute blast while I was there. One of the coolest things I got to do while I was at PAX, though, was attend the Assassin's Creed the movie panel as part of the press, which was super sweet. So 20th Century Fox commissioned me to make a highlights video about it, and having played all the Assassin's Creed games prior to this, I was totally on board with it. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys a video going through some of my favorite parts of the panel, and of course, if you're interested in the movie, I have a link down in the description below to the DVD, Blu-ray, and digital home download options. So hands down, my favorite part was that I had a chance to get an interview with Tim Wildgoose. He was basically the weapons master of the movie. This guy was in charge of designing all the weapons, you know, the bardaches, the wrist blades, the smoke bombs, everything. And I had a chance to go hands-on with some of the weapons and interview him after the panel. So let's take a look at that first.
Alright, so tell me about the wrist blade stuff. So, I mean, obviously you mentioned you took a lot of the influence of this from like kind of cosplayers and whatnot, but what was you're going through building this and tweaking it and getting it to right? Like, tell me about the creative process.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, we went through like a ton of design, like iterations of this thing, because Justin, the director, just constantly wanted us to add more detail to it. And so, I mean, we probably spent about 2 months designing this thing. Just constantly tweaking it, adding more details to it. This one is actually one of our metal ones. We had probably about 20 or 30 different wrist blades. Some of them were mechanical and actually work. This isn't one of the working ones. This is the semi-working version. We had versions where you could crank the arm and this dial would rotate, then you could push the button on the blade and flick out, and you could pull this pin out and spin it round, and so you could on camera you could show some sort of working. So
I think one question I'm sure a lot of people are going to have is, you're making weapons. Was there ever any time where you tried something and the blade like shot out or there was a mishap?
Well, I mean, they're basically like toys, so we play around a lot in the workshop. We had like fake heads that we could fire, you know, like poison darts at and test that mechanism. But I mean, one thing we always try to do is do it safely.
No one got injured making it.
No one got injured. And also, whenever Michael was using them on set, we'd always make sure we used rubber blades and that we fight with. We rarely used a metal blade on set because they're too dangerous.
Do you think Michael would take one? At the end of the day, try to like pocket one to bring it with him?
Yeah, I don't know if he snuck any out of that, but it's one problem we had is when they had metal blades in, is the actors would forget and they go to like scratch their eye or something, they have like a metal blade sticking out, so we end up putting like a big piece of foam on the end of the blade so they wouldn't stab themselves.
I feel like that, I mean, like regular blades, you know, there are established methods, the blacksmithing's been done, but something like this, like just the fine detail and the craftsmanship, like how much...
We treated them like plot mechanisms, so on the working versions, when you open this up, there was a full mechanism inside that looked like a plot mechanism. It all worked and cracking on. All the mechanisms they also had to be beautiful at the same time as being practical. This was one of our sort of
Did you guys end up like pulling in like clock people to help with the design?
No, I have like a team of like really talented meching guys and engineers and put together stuff for in-house.
Let's talk about some of the other ones. We got Benedicto staff.
That's Benedicto staff. This one, the rubber one. This one, the lightweight rubber ones actually, which
you get to touch it? He's like, be careful.
We made metal versions. We always start off with a real version, and then we mould it and make rubber castings for fighting with. This is one of the ones that you used to carry on his back because it's lightweight, so otherwise it's too heavy.
And the real ones are these real metal varnish and 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah, I mean it's heavy, and especially when you're trying to wear it on a costume, it just drags you down. So these are beautiful ways you need to do any movement.
Handy weapons lady.
This is Maria's, well, it's called a parrying blade. This again is one of our rubber fighting versions. We made a metal version. She carries this on her back. And this is an old Indian weapon. The idea is you wear it on your fist like that and use it to catch blades and then snap them. So it's like a nice little, it's just a very nice interesting weapon that you can carry on her back. But you can whip it out, you can throw it at people and then she can use it to snap blades.
So with all of these weapons, I mean, earlier you mentioned, you know, that some of the more intricate wrist blades are probably your favorite. If we put wrist blades aside, because I mean they're the iconic Assassin's Creed weapon. What else would you say was the most enjoyable to work on? So you guys said you created, like, I think altogether 800 or so.
About 300 unique weapons, but there's more than 2,000. We built this really beautiful bow and crossbow, which I'm not sure you saw in the movie yet. I don't think it's here. It was a bow and crossbow that was engraved with like reliefs of Templars being murdered by assassins. It was just like beautiful. It was made out of like whalebone. It was just like a really beautiful crossbow. And one of the assassins carried it on the back. And that was one of mine.
That's like one of the ones that needs to end up in like the.
Well, hopefully it's on the hopefully it's on the deleted scenes.
So moving on from there, probably my next favorite part, I had a chance to, after the panel, we had like a small press time where we had a chance to interview the 4 panelists, and I got a chance to throw out a hardball question to Amar kind of regarding stuff that didn't make it into the movie that he would have liked to see. So got a pretty fun response there, and I thought that it was definitely a good highlight.
So now that we're at release, you know, we're doing the panel, we're talking about all of it, and something I haven't heard asked yet is, thinking back to the whole process, like, you know, pre-production, production, is there anything that, not necessarily you weren't happy with, but something that if you could go back, you would change and do differently with how you made the movie?
That's the most horrible question. Any creative people, because there's not a single step I've been working on where I would say that I'm, like, today I'm satisfied.
Never finished.
No, you learn how to be happy with, you know how to live with it. But we were talking before, during lunch, we were talking about the games, you know, like, so the thing I was like, the question I hate the most, and every single creator would hate the most is there any part of the game that you get rid of, that you would like to see in? And it's like, yeah, all of the parts that I would get rid of, I would have loved to see them in the game or in the movie. But the thing is, we never know what would happen like next. Of course, it's going to be disappointed if I'm telling anyone, oh, there was that in the movie and that thing was so cool, because there's so many reasons why you couldn't fit it in. And then there's also always the prospect that we can use it later on. Like, it's always things like, that was a very good idea. It was at the time, it wasn't like the star weren't aligned, but who knows, maybe later on. But then, yeah, there are a couple of stuff like from the script and everything that we would have loved to see. Like, I know that one of the early version of the script, and there's tons of versions of the script, we were wondering if we wanted to go in different time period. Like, not only like focus on the Spanish Inquisition, but then real producers get on board and were like, do you know how much it's going to cost? I'm like, yeah, I guess. It's like, because two time period is already like 2 movies in one. Like, adding another one would mean like another set of costumes, and then it was a no-go for our first movie.
So one more highlight coming to you guys, and during the actual panel, they were showing some of the footage and kind of the behind the scenes, how it was done, and a lot of this stuff is actually on the DVD with like the bonus features and all that. But there was a point where Michelle Lynn, one of the martial artists who did all her own stunts in the movie, kind of went in and elaborated on some of the stunt work and what was going on. And personally, I found that to be one of the more interesting things of the panel, so decided to add that on for you guys to check out.
So you mentioned that you kicked a woman in the face during this? Well, yeah, so talk about, so are you guys still friends now? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys are on good terms. Awesome. So how many times did you have to take that falling backwards stunt, and how was that for you? Was it difficult? Was it challenging?
I don't know how many takes it took, but it was pretty high, but the riggers were so good at their job that it felt like I was just landing on a cloud.
Oh, so you never felt the actual impact, like it was a minor impact?
It was really soft, yeah, but we did it, I think, for pretty much the whole day, so.
A whole day of falling, okay. Michelle, talk about how you got involved in the movie. It's kind of an interesting story. We kind of talked about it over lunch, but go into detail about how you became a part of the Assassin's Creed movie.
So I'm actually a martial arts student, and I'm from Andover, and I went to Tufts University, so this is my hometown.
Yeah. She visited family while she was here.
But basically, I had a video posted on YouTube, and the casting director somehow found it. It's really obscure. And they sent it to the director, and he liked my style and focus. So they sent me the lines to read for the audition, and I read them, and I ad-libbed my own at the very end. And I think that's what got me the role, because that's pretty much how the character was drawn out for the film.
Yeah, and then how did you, like, what was the instinct behind knowing to improv that part? Like, was there a reasoning behind your, maybe some of your training helped you in that regard?
The monologue showed, actually it was really vague. They just wanted to see what we would bring to the table. So I read it as an older, disillusioned assassin, and I felt that I wanted to show a more ruthless, younger version that's just kind of new to the game. So at the very end, I turned to the camera and basically threatened them.
You're the sweetest girl. I can't imagine you like being threatening. But you did such a great job in the movie. And how did you leverage kind of your experience as a student of martial arts to make it work on set? And how was that experience? I mean, you've never been on set before, so.
Well, the physical side was not too bad because I already studied one of the styles that's similar to my character's ancestor, Xiao Jun, from Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. So I already had some of the similar movements, and I focused my training on her specialties. And on the mental side, I used my training as well because martial arts trains you mentally and emotionally. And it was really daunting to be on such a big set with an established universe, but I used that to center myself.
And working opposite Michael Fassbender and all those other actors, what was one of your favorite moments being on set?
I think my favorite moment was that cafeteria scene with Michael K. Williams introducing the minor characters, and it was actually much longer than what was shown in the final cut, but he had to talk all day, and he had to do different versions of it. And there was even one version where he was kind of singing.
What?
It was just to see how it would turn out, but just to watch him act, it was incredible.
Impressive.
He was really talented.
Really cool to see. So how much did you rely on stunts, or rather the stunt professionals there, or did you do all of them yourself?
As far as I could tell, the stunts that ended up in the movie were all done by me, but I did have a stunt double, Chloe Bruce, who you might know from Star Wars. That little bit.
Star Wars, yeah.
But yeah, I think pretty much everything that was in the final cut was pretty much me.
And what was your favorite action scene that ended up making the cut that you liked the most?
I don't really have one.
They're all good. They're all amazing.
It's still absolutely crazy to me, the fact that she didn't have an agent or anything, and they basically just found a video of her doing martial arts on YouTube and pulled her into a movie. It's just nuts. But anyway, we're going to wrap up the highlight video on that note. Definitely a really fun time getting to go to the panel. I mean, as this was my first PAX, it was also the first panel I ever have attended. So the fact that I got to go and attend it as a member of press made the whole experience kind of surreal, being like front row and getting the interviews and all that stuff. So definitely a really cool time. But as I mentioned back at the start, there is a link down in the description below for the digital deluxe, DVD, and Blu-ray versions of the movie. All three versions are available now, but if you want all the bonus features like director interviews and behind the scenes, make sure you snag either the DVD or Blu-ray version of the movie. Definitely really cool if you're into that kind of stuff. But anyway, thanks for coming by and checking out the highlight reel. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.